Friends, today is Monday, the 14th of December, and it's my day off. I'm back in my room at the rectory, a little sunshine coming through the windows at this point. And we have two interesting readings today in the liturgy. And during the Advent season, the readings are connected. They're connected, and the typical pattern is a prophetic statement and then the fulfillment of that statement. Prophecy, fulfillment. And usually it's fairly clear what the prophecy is, and it's pretty clear how that is also fulfilled. Today is a little more challenging. The gospel has the scribes and Pharisees and elders approaching Jesus and questioning his authority. Where does your authority come from? And the word authority there is the important word. The Greek is exousia, authority. And it literally means from the being of, that the authority Jesus has comes from the very being of God. The controversy is not settled in the gospel. Jesus asked them a question about authority, and they refused to answer because they were afraid it would self-incriminate, I guess, and they say they simply don't know the answer. But all of this is connected somehow to the first reading, which is from the book of Numbers. I don't know that we've had a reading from the book of Numbers during this Advent season, but it speaks about a seer or a sorcerer named Balaam, B-A-L-A-A-M, Balaam. And the seer, the sorcerer, sees into the future. He sees into the future, and it says here the oracle of Balaam, the utterance of Balaam, son of Beor, the utterance of the man whose eye is true, the utterance of one who hears what God says and knows what the Most High knows. And he says, of one who sees what the Almighty sees, enraptured and with eyes unveiled, I see him, he says, though not now. I see him, though not now. I behold him, though not near. A star shall advance from Jacob, and a staff shall rise from Israel. Balaam sees into the future, and he sees a messianic figure. He says, I see but not now. It's in the future. I see but not. I behold him, though not near. Somewhere in the future, and it says that a star shall advance. Scripture scholars look to this reading as some of the background for the Magi. Balaam, it says, is one who came from the east, even as the Magi came from the east. And they see, but not near. And they follow a star. And they follow that star to Jerusalem and to Bethlehem, to the one who is the Messiah, the one who shares the power and authority of God. Exousia, this Messiah has the very being of God, and thus his authority comes from God. For us, the reading not only points out the authority, the power of the Messiah who is to come, but also the authority and the power that is given to the church. Jesus hands over all that he has to his church. And that same power and authority exists there for the good of all people. As Jesus came and used his authority and power for others, so does the church. So does the church. And thus our two readings today, a little obscure, one from Numbers, the seer, Balaam, who sees into the future, sees a person whose eyes and ears have insight into God because the person who sees and hears comes from the very being of God. And Jesus, who speaks of authority and where his authority comes from God. authority shared with the church, authority that we enjoy today for our salvation. Hold that thought, and we'll see you tomorrow.